Richard Cullen from Action Coach, and worked through this presentation last few days with Rob Johnson, who's over there. What we've come up with is top 5 thoughts or things that I want to share with you as to what you can get from networking, or how you can improve your networking, or how you can make your networking more effective. And the first one there is attitude. What's your ideal client? How do you put a system in place to get the most from networking? How do you build rapport? And as Shay said, what's the plan? Where's the goal? So let's start with attitude to networking. What is your attitude to networking? And from my experience when dealing with business owners, come across an awful lot of this: blame, excuse, denial. I've been in networking events where the people there have blamed the event for not getting good leads, for not getting a good source of contacts. But that really is coming up with excuses. In our experience in achieving success in anything, the attitude that we've got is very important. You can either get reasons or you can get results. And getting results is about, how do I take ownership for getting the best from a networking event? The only failure is actually not to get out there and do it. So when you give 100% and you put the effort in, you get 100%. You get a round of applause from the good-looking lady here, am I right? Okay, so attitude is extremely important, and I'd certainly stress re-examining what your attitude is to networking. It's a constant dynamic. We all get into comfort zones and we can become complacent about where we're at within a networking group, but how do I make it more dynamic and more vibrant? So let's talk a little bit about ideal client. What is your ideal client, and how do you determine your ideal client? Where are the ideal customers? And they're really the ones that are giving you the most profit, that are the least trouble to deal with. If you haven't got a good clarity or good understanding of what your ideal client is, how can you hope to explain it to anybody else? So that's in your interest, obviously, to put as much clarity around that as possible, so you can share that with the other people that you network with, so that they can help you. And then on the system, Action Coach is all about systems. We've got one, again, attitude slide to learning that we go through with clients. It's 4 steps to learning. You start at unconscious incompetence, where you really don't know what you don't know, going all the way up to unconscious competence, where you're in automatic pilot. You're doing everything in automatic. And after we've done something for a couple of years, it becomes automatic. We just do it, and we keep doing it the same way. And it takes sometimes a big event to get us to change. So systems are trying to understand what it is that we're doing in automatic pilot, and documenting what that is, so that we can change it and we can observe it. And how do we change? How do we change our habits? So when we look at systems in terms of selling, and networking is about selling. It's about selling ourselves to attract in clients. And our definition of selling is professionally helping other people to buy. Share who you know and share what you know. But you got to know who you know, and you got to know what you know. From my experience, again, looking at, I had all these contacts globally, but I didn't have that many contacts necessarily in Ireland, because I was working continuously abroad. But in reality, what I've found is I've got loads of contacts. I'm from a big family. I've got neighbours. I'm involved in rugby coaching. You know, there's all these contacts, and I didn't realise all these people that I knew. So that's system, but rapport is a key part of that system. How do you build up rapport with clients? And what is rapport? Building a positive relationship. We've got a concept here of old selling versus new selling. And in old selling, the main end was selling, which was telling. It's telling everybody what you can do and how good your product is and how good your service is and how good you are. And it doesn't work. The power of the internet and communication now is, you can find out any information that you want. So we can go out and research everything that we want about a particular product or service. The last thing we need is a salesperson telling us what we can already find out. We don't need to know the features and benefits because we've looked all that up. But what we do want is somebody that we like and trust. So how much time do you put into rapport and building rapport? And how do you build rapport? And follow-up is obviously key. It's great to come in and meet people and build up that rapport, but they never see you again. All that effort was a waste of time. So in building up rapport, it is about trying to understand the communication style of the other person. One way of looking at it is, are people visual, auditory, or kinesthetic? So how do you tell the difference? So kinesthetic person, which I am, it's all touchy-feely stuff, right? So I'd definitely have to handshake and definitely have to be close to you and touch. But somebody who's auditory, they're generally doing an awful lot of talking, and they learn by listening. I have to actually do things to learn. So when we're in a networking event with someone, auditory, you're talking away, the auditory people will pick it up. But a kinesthetic person won't really warm to you unless they feel a physical connection there. So if I'm an auditory person and I'm there in the networking event and I'm talking away to all these people and they're all kinesthetics, they're not going to warm to me. So that's limited me in that environment. And a visual person, they actually need to see something before they fully understand. So, maybe they need to physically see the business card and touch the business card if they're kinesthetic to actually get to know you. So again, what tools have you got within your system to help you in the networking events that you're at? And how are you understanding the communication styles of other people?